Okay, let's look at this example here, E921A, where we have a company that's allowed to sell 10,000 shares of preferred stock and 19,000 shares of common stock. When I say allowed, I mean the state in which this company is incorporated says the maximum number of shares you're allowed to sell, issue, are these amounts. Okay. Now, here's what happened in the past 2-month period. We're going to go through each one and ask what did we get and what did we give up and how do you record it. In this first example, they issued 1,700 shares of the 19,000 that they're allowed to sell. So 17,000 shares of their $1.50 par value common stock. What they got, though, was not $1.50 per share, because that's the par value, which is an arbitrarily low amount set by the company that actually is the minimum amount that the shareholders' equity can fall without the SEC forbidding the company from paying a dividend. So when they sold these 1,700 shares, they're not going to sell them for $1.50. In fact, they were able to sell them for $16.50. So what did the company get? Well, it got cash. The amount of cash it got was, again, not the $1.50, but what it got was $28,050. So if I could go ahead down here and do the entries as well, we would be debiting cash for the 28,050. So we've got cash of 28,050. Now what do we credit? What we're going to credit is what we gave up. Now we gave up 1,700 shares of stock. It would be nice if we could just credit common stock for the full amount, but we're not allowed to. What we're allowed to do is only put the par value amount in the common stock. In other words, only $1.50 of the $16.50 goes into the common stock account. Now we don't balance because they did not just get $2,550, they got amounts in excess. They got 25,000 more than 25,500 more than the par value. So what basically they did is they got $16.50, which after you subtract the amount that you put into the par value and multiply it by the number of shares issued, you have your 25.5. Okay. On 5/2, they issued 600 shares of $2.50 no par preferred stock for $22,000 in cash. So in this case, since it's a no par, it means there is no need to split out your stock in excess. In other words, companies are allowed to have no par stock. Not many, or I shouldn't say not many, but some states allow it, but not a whole lot. So the entry would be, okay, we got cash being an asset, 22,000. We gave up stock. What kind of stock, though, is preferred? Okay. Now I forgot to finish this entry, forgive me. We have the common stock and the excess that also got that was also recorded, and those were credited for, again, 2,550 and 25.5. And now I was going to book the entry we just did, which is the 5/2. We got cash of 22,000, gave up stock 22,000, and that would be the entry. Lastly, they received inventory valued at 19,000 and equipment valued at 41,000 by selling stock. So in other words, you don't always just get cash, you can get other assets. You can get other resources. So what they got are two types of assets, inventory and equipment. 19,000 inventory, equipment 41. What did they give up? They gave up 3,300 shares. Now the total that shareholders' equity needs to increase by is this full 60,000, but we only put $1.50 in the common stock account. So all that goes in the common stock account of the 60,000 received in assets is just 4,950. Again, it's your, I should do it this way, par times the number of shares issued. Okay. Now we don't balance. That's because we got a lot more than $1.50 in assets. We got 60,000 minus what we put in the common stock account. Okay. Now you could figure out what you got per share. If you wanted to know what's the price we got per share, you take the 60,000 that you received, divide it by the 3,300 shares that you had to sell to get that amount in assets, and you get $18.18 rounded. So of that $18.18, $1.50 goes in this account. The extra that you got over $18.18 goes in the excess account. So as far as the entry goes, you're going to debit what you got, which is both the inventory and equipment, and credit these shares that you issued. So it'd look like this. Instead of getting cash, we have another asset or two other assets in exchange for stock.